I never thought a quiet corn harvest would end with me in handcuffs. One second I was loading grain into my truck, the next my HOA president had smashed her own headlight, called 911, and screamed that I tried to kill her with my tractor. And while my neighbors stood there filming me like some criminal, she cried on cue mascara running and played the perfect victim. Act 1. The conflict begins. It was October 15th, 6:30 in the morning. Cool air steam rising from my coffee cup, the radio humming some old country tune, and me doing what I'd done 1,000 times before transferring corn from the tractor into my truck on the HOA easement road. It was legal routine boring, until it wasn't. Then came the roar of an engine behind me. In the rearview mirror I caught sight of a silver Lexus barreling down the road like it was in the Indy 500. No brake lights, no slowing down, just raw acceleration. Wham! The impact slammed me forward against the seatbelt so hard it knocked the wind out of me. Hot coffee splattered across my hand in the cab. The hood of her Lexus crumpled against my tractor bucket glass, scattered like diamonds across the asphalt. Karen Edwards climbed out, hands trembling, her perfect pearls glinting even at dawn. At first she looked shaken, maybe even sorry. "Josh, are you hurt?" "I'm so sorry," she said, voice cracking. And I almost believed her. Almost. I stepped down, knees wobbly, still stunned. I told her I'd need to take insurance photos. That's when everything changed. The concern drained right out of her face. Her eyes went cold. She looked at my phone, then at the tractor, then back at me with this calculating stare that froze my blood. And then, like flipping a switch, she started her performance. Karen grabbed one of those decorative white HOA landscaping rocks, lifted it in her manicured hands, and smashed her own headlight. Twice. Deliberate, methodical. Then she shrieked, "Look what you did to me! You lunged at me with that tractor." Seconds later, she was on the phone with 911, sobbing like a Broadway actress. "Help! I'm terrified. He's threatening me. He's drunk. He blocked the road with heavy machinery." I stood there dumbfounded. What do you even say when someone fabricates a crime right in front of your face? 15 minutes later, the deputy showed up. Karen was in full meltdown mode, crying, hyperventilating, pointing at me like I was a monster. And just like that, I was in cuffs. My quiet harvest morning turned into a public arrest, neighbors in bathrobes standing on their porches filming with their phones. And Karen, she was suddenly calm enough to hold up her own phone and record me announcing, "Finally someone stopped this dangerous farming." Act 2. Escalation and the turning point. Sitting in the county holding cell covered in corn dust and dried coffee, I felt like I'd fallen into the twilight zone, charged with menacing me for getting rear-ended at dawn. When my lawyer Marcus Wilson finally walked in, I thought salvation had arrived. But the look on his face told me otherwise. He reviewed my phone photos, listened to my muffled audio recording, and frowned. Too much wind noise, too much machine rumble. Karen's lawyer was already spinning it as proof I'd been premeditating a confrontation, recording her without consent, setting her up. That night I sat at my kitchen table, head in my hands, staring at bills I couldn't pay, thinking about contracts I couldn't fulfill. $5,000 in penalties for every day my corn sat unharvested. Moisture levels climbing. My wife Sarah was gone. My parents gone, no siblings, no local family. For the first time in years, I wanted to give up. Maybe Karen was right. Maybe I didn't belong here. But then something shifted. Becca Miller, my neighbor whose husband was deployed overseas, showed up at the bail office with her emergency fund. She looked me in the eye and said, "We know you didn't do this. The whole military community knows Karen's been after you." She put her family's safety net on the line for me. That hit harder than any Lexus. And then the next morning an envelope showed up under my door. No return address. Inside, HOA meeting minutes from 2 weeks earlier, highlighted in yellow. Discuss Roberts's tractor safety. Check for recording devices before October 15th harvest. My hands shook. She knew. She planned this. That's when it hit me like a lightning bolt, the dash cam. I'd installed it 3 weeks earlier after Karen had threatened safety inspections. In all the chaos, I'd completely forgotten. I sprinted to my shed, yanked the SD card from the unit, shoved it into my laptop. And there it was, every second. Karen stepping out of her Lexus, concerned at first, then spotting the dash cam lens, her face hardening, her body language changing, the rock in her hand, the deliberate smash, the fake 911 hysteria. All of it. Clear audio, perfect video, metadata locked in. 2.5 minutes of her transforming into the victim she wanted the world to believe. I sat there in my dark kitchen, shaking so hard I nearly dropped the laptop. For the first time since the cuffs clicked around my wrists, I felt something stronger than despair. I felt hope. Act 3. The Showdown. October 25th. The courtroom was packed. Neighbors filled every seat, some glaring at me, others whispering prayers under their breath. Judge Patricia Brennan, Karen's old college roommate no less, presided. Her glasses perched on her nose, sympathetic nods aimed Karen's way. Karen took the stand first. She was magnificent. Tears at the right moments, voice breaking just enough. She painted me as a drunken farmer with a grudge against her, a stalker with surveillance cameras aimed at innocent neighbors. "I've lived in fear for 11 days, she sobbed, afraid he'll come after me again. The room was eating out of her hand. Then it was my turn. Marcus played the phone audio. Static, unclear words. Nothing. Karen's lawyer smirked. The judge looked bored. My chest tightened. Was this how it ended? My land lost my name, ruined because her lies were prettier than my truth. Then Marcus dropped the bomb. "Your Honor, we have additional evidence." The doors opened. A state police forensic officer walked in with a laptop and evidence box. Karen's lawyer leapt to his feet, shouting objections. Too late. The video played on the big screen. Silence fell over the courtroom. We watched Karen walk toward me, calm and apologetic. Then we watched her eyes shift, her posture change. We saw her pick up that landscaping rock, smash her own headlight, call 911 with crocodile tears while the camera caught her steady hands and deliberate moves. Gasps rippled through the gallery. Even Judge Brennan's face went pale. And then Deputy Miller submitted her new report. The rock held only Karen's fingerprints. The Lexus black box showed full acceleration, no braking. Evidence of deliberate collision. The case was unraveling in real time. And then, like a twist straight out of a movie, Dean Morrison, the HOA vice president, stood up from the gallery. Voice shaking, he handed the judge an envelope. Inside, a memo signed by Karen ordering him to locate and disable Roberts's recording devices before harvest. Dated 3 weeks earlier. Karen lost it. She screamed across the courtroom. "You betrayed me after everything I covered for you." Security moved in as she tried to lunge at Dean, her mask finally shattered in front of everyone. The judge slammed her gavel. The restraining order was denied with prejudice. Karen was ordered to have no contact with me or any witnesses. The prosecutor opened a criminal investigation right there. Karen Edwards, the woman who thought she owned the neighborhood, was exposed as a liar and a fraud in front of the entire community. Closing line. And just like that, her empire of lies collapsed, proof that no matter how convincing the performance, the truth always finds its voice.